It's about to get more expensive for you to refinance your mortgage thanks to a new fee that starts December 1st. But there is still time to avoid this new cost. I'll tell you how coming up. My name is Mike Bernard. I'm the host of the Wise Money Show. I'm also one of the certified financial planners right here at Korhorn Financial Group. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and smash that thumbs up button. All right, check out this chart. We've got refinances, and this just goes through the second quarter. We're about to get the third quarter data here shortly, but thanks to record low interest rates, refinances are skyrocketing, and they've skyrocketed this year for good reason. So many people, if you're looking, if your mortgage has been 3.75 or 4%, anywhere in that range, you're refinancing right now, no doubt. To lock in a 30-year mortgage at 3% or even below, or switch from a 30 to a 15-year at somewhere around 2.5% makes a ton of sense. Well, will a new fee introduced by the government now slow down the wave of refinances that we're seeing? All right, so here's the deal. All refinances backed by Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac are going to see a new 0.5% fee assessed to them starting December 1st. And because mortgage closings typically take 30 to 60 days, many banks and financial institutions are starting to charge this fee now. What does this mean? So it's a 0.5% additional cost. Why? Because the Federal Housing Finance Agency took a look and said, we're going to see lots of losses coming up because of the recession, because of the pandemic, and we need to charge an additional cost to help cover some of these losses. Now, I wonder, as the economy has maybe been coming back to life, if they've looked and said, maybe they're not going to see as many losses as what they thought. But back in August, they introduced this new fee, said it was going to take effect on September 1st. And then thanks to a bunch of pushback, they were able to delay the rollout of this new fee until December 1st. But many financial institutions are starting to add the cost in now. So who is exempt from this, and could you still be exempt? Number one, basically the fee is assessed when your lender goes to sell the loan to Freddie or Fannie. And so if you're not going through Freddie or Fannie, then you're not going to have this fee. So that's one thing to look for. So VA loans, FHA loans, you're going to be exempt from this. They're also exempting loans that are below $125,000. So if your loan is below $125,000, you should still get the lowest cost and the best rate. The other area that's exempt from this is jumbo loans. Jumbo loans start in the somewhere around $570,000 range. So those jumbo loans and above are going to be at aren't going to have this cost either. So here we go. We've got a new cost being added for refinances in the 125 to 575 range. To me, that's middle class. That's middle class and upper middle class. That it's going to be more expensive for you to refinance. What again is this fee? It's a 0.5%, so 0.5% cost added, and it could be added in two different ways. One, it could be added to your closing costs. So on a $300,000 mortgage, this would be an extra $1,500 cost added to your closing costs. That almost doubles the cost to close on a refinance. But most companies are actually going to go the second route of passing this fee on, and they're going to be increasing your interest rate just a little bit when you go to refinance. If you go through the refinance process and you see interest rates, well, I should be able to get an interest rate below 3%, you might see it tick up a little bit, and instead of being below 3%, it might be 1/8 higher than what the rates would actually be because they're adding this additional cost on there. That's the two ways. If you're going to be assessed this fee, that's the two ways that it would be applied to you. And roughly about 2/3 of all mortgages that are refinanced would have this additional fee. So can you get your refinance done in the next 60 days before December 1st? If you did so, hopefully you're working with a lender where you'd be able to avoid this fee. Right now, if you've been dragging your feet on refinancing, I would consider talking to a lender right now and saying, what could my interest rate be? Could I avoid the new refinance fee that's coming, and talk to them about ways that they could help you avoid it. Whether that means they don't end up selling it to Freddie or Fannie, maybe that's going through FHA, maybe that is, well, how much do you actually need to refinance? So I'd work with them on seeing if you can avoid this cost. Typically, if you're like me, you hear new cost and you say, well, I'm going to avoid that, or let me get it done quicker. But just realize that interest rates are significantly lower. So if it makes overall sense for your financial situation to refinance to a lower rate, then I would still proceed even if it means there's this extra cost. I would just try to do it either before the cost gets applied or if you meet one of the exemptions to this new cost. So just bear that in mind. Work with your certified financial planner. See if it makes sense for you to refinance, which for me, I go with the 5-in-1 rule. Okay, the 5-in-1 rule for refinance is, will I still have this mortgage 5 years from now? Will I still have this mortgage? Or will I have moved, or will I have paid it off? Will I still have this mortgage in 5 years from now? If the answer is yes, then you go on to the 1, so 5-in-1 rule. And the 1 is, will refinancing save me about 1% on my mortgage? If you are a yes to both the 5 and the 1, that's the 5-in-1 rule, then I would definitely give you the green light, and I'd get started now on looking at whether you can refinance before this new fee applies. If the fee will apply, I would ask the lender, can I have that added to my closing costs instead of having an interest rate increase? Why? Because it's very possible, if you hold this loan over the next 30 years, increasing your interest rate by 1/8 mathematically will likely mean a much higher cost than what just the normal 0.5% would be. Because it's a 0.5% one-time fee. That's basically what Freddie and Fannie are going to charge the lending institution when the lender goes and transfers it to Freddie and Fannie. So if there's a way for you to just pay that up front in your closing costs and keep your interest rate low for the next 15 to 30 years, that seems like it's going to be a better deal for you. As I said, we've got less than 60 days before this new fee fully comes into effect. Work with your lender. If you need to refinance, if you should refinance, work with your lender to see if there's a way to get around that fee. Bigger question though, as it relates to this, even though the new fee is coming, if you found a way to avoid it because you can hastily get it done, don't jump on something that doesn't make sense for you in the first place. I love the idea of refinancing to a lower interest rate, but if it doesn't make sense for you to refinance, then just doing so quickly to try and avoid a fee as opposed to talking to your certified financial planner first to see if this is the best choice, I would definitely tell you to do that. Talk to your certified financial planner, see if it makes sense for you to refinance, and if you do, if you should, reach out to your lender and see if you can refinance and avoid this new cost. I've got a couple links below for you to check it out if you want more information on this new refinance fee, but as always, work with your certified financial planner. All right, there you have it. Go out and take your next wise step in your financial life.